So this is my second attempt at doing a video for Vlogmas. As you see, several days have passed by. Not really sure when this is going to get posted or if this will even make the cut. Last video, it was just very, not me. It felt really strange and bizarre, and I just really didn't like anything about it. So I thought that if I did something a little bit more natural, like, which I don't put on makeup every day, but I thought I could just do kind of like a little chatty get ready with me. My name is Alex. I am about to put on some makeup. I'm doing something that I don't usually do. I mean, I put on eyeshadow every now and then, but mainly I just do, like, if I do eyeshadow on an everyday basis, well, it's just on a regular day, it's pretty minimal. It's nothing extravagant. So it may just be like a little bit of highlighter on my eyelids, but I want to do kind of an ombre, kind of like orange, like smudge-ish. Nothing too complex. When you try out something for the first time, it could literally go any kind of way. I'm not going to take you through the steps of what I'm doing because I'm not a makeup artist, so don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I pretty much just kind of like try things, and if it works well, I try to remember, but I'm horrible at remembering processes. Like, it's crazy. It's so funny. I feel like whenever I'm doing videos like this, I have a tendency to ramble, and then I think, like, while I like that, you know, rambling, at least I have more content rather than none, it almost is frustrating because then you have to really try to figure out how to edit out the stuff that's not important or that would be boring for you, because I don't want to bore you guys. Like, that's the opposite of what I want to do. So, a few things about me. I just turned 26, almost said 25, that is a lie. That's the thing about when you turn a different age. If you're already, like, had this, like, weird complex about getting old, which I only had this issue because I feel like I haven't done enough in the amount of time I've been on Earth. So it's not that I don't want to get older, because I'm very excited to be, like, 30. I feel like my whole life will be figured out, which I know it won't be. But I think that, I don't know, there's just so many things I plan to have done, which I just keep having to tell myself every day that, like, you know, progress is progress. And just because I give myself these crazy, unrealistic expectations, so it's very hard to be able to achieve them. So I'm trying to, these days, set more actually achievable goals, so I'm not constantly going through this scrutiny and just basically having this self-deprecating conversation with myself. Wait, I guess I didn't have to say self twice. But yeah, so I am currently living in Baltimore, Maryland. I just recently moved here, like, in April of this year. So let's see, I've been here for 8 months now. Really like the area. It's amazing. Like, honestly, when I moved to Maryland in June of 2017. I wanted to live in the city, but we just didn't know the area very well. We didn't know anything about the city, and we wanted to kind of have more of an informed decision once moving here. So yeah, I love the neighborhood we're living in. We're living in Mountain Vernon. It's a pretty artsy area. There's lots of really cool restaurants in the area, which is really nice. I love that. I'm trying to figure out which color, sorry for the drawing out of what I'm saying. I'm gonna cut like half of this. This is so funny. Like, I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna cut all this out. I hope it's not super uber ugly choppy. When I first got to Baltimore, Jonathan and I went to this really cool, like, little event, and there were lots of local people selling things, and it's so funny because when we walked in, Jonathan was like, oh, he had this realization, and I was like, what's the oh? And he's like, these are the people that you, like, make things for. These are the people that will buy your stuff. And so, backstory, I have an Etsy, as well as I resell things on Poshmark and Depop. And Jonathan could never understand some of the things that I would buy. He's like, who's gonna buy this? This is insane. Like, bananas, like crazy. And he just didn't understand. And then suddenly, when we were at this little festival with all these people in Baltimore, he finally understood. And I think that just speaks a lot about sometimes when you feel like you're in the right place or not being in the right place. Because in my case, I feel like I knew I was never in the right place when I was in Arkansas. That's where I'm originally from. I always felt like I was an alien. I always felt like I was looking for a group of people that could understand me, that I could identify with. I'm having a lot of fallout. I should have sprayed more setting spray on this, but I did not. But yeah, so I've never felt like I was in the right setting. I felt like I had very few people that I could identify with, and then even then, so when I did identify with them, I felt like it was very short-lived, and it was just a struggle. So I don't know. I think there's something very awesome when you find a group of people, or at least that you feel like have your vibe. I mean, of course, just based off of looks, you can't identify that. But I definitely feel way more connected in the culture that I'm immersed in here. So that was just a really amazing point. And so that kind of just set the precedent for me being here. And of course, I've talked about this. I have a blog and a website, and I've talked about this on there, where I felt as though, you know, moving here, I was so excited. I was full of so much expectation. But then, like, once I got here, I was extremely depressed because I've always been independent, but for the very first time, I was experiencing moving somewhere, like, ultimately. I mean, I'm very grateful and fortunate to have my boyfriend that did the move with me, but there was a lot of different things I had to kind of figure out, like how to make friends outside of work or college. I'm back. Yeah, so in the middle of recording, my cousin called me back because I called her, and so I went ahead and took that call. I am now finished with my makeup. I am very excited how it turned out. I was definitely trying something new. I think it worked pretty well, and I like it paired. I love contrast. I really like the bright eyes against the darker black. I mean, this is pretty bright too, even though it's a darker color typically. I just kind of really wanted to talk to you about how sometimes I feel like I'm very critical of the things that I do. Everything is just a process of trying and trying again, and I got really frustrated in the last video that I made because I feel like I put so much time into it, and for some reason what I was wanting to come out, it wasn't reflecting that way. So I'm going to try to be not so serious, which I think that's something that I struggle with in life. And you probably have too. I mean, I don't know. It's something I feel like we all struggle with at some point. But I'm really excited to create more content and not let myself get so stressed about small details. I mean, details do matter, but not let them bog me down to the point where I'm not creating anything, where I'm not sharing any of the things that I am creating. So therefore it's basically like I'm not creating. I mean, I have a lot of ideas that I want to share, but I sometimes have trouble editing and just refining it because there's just so many ideas. I just think the creative process is a beautiful process. Sometimes it feels like it is very self-deprecating and that I will never get anything out in the way that I want it to be, because there's definitely a very solid difference between what I have in my head and then whatever comes out when it's executed. And so I think finding a happy balance between what I expect and the reality is something that I can like literally apply in my creative process in every part of my life. And so I just wanted to share with you that, you know, while this is a hot mess, like I may even show you some outtakes of this, I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm wanting this video to be kind of more freeform. I've struggled with trying to figure out what I want to talk about, because there's so many things to talk about and I'm a talker. So, and I haven't talked in a long time because moving here, kind of how I talked about earlier, really has put a lot of things in perspective about what's important to me and who's important to me. And I've just been trying to get back to myself because I feel like I'm out of practice, whereas I feel like when I was in Arkansas, I was surrounded by so many people I know. I've had a lot more time to think, which I've always considered myself a thinker, but I feel like I've really delved into the depths of thought and like what and who I am and what it means to be me and like my goals and if I'm doing things to achieve those goals. And so, yeah, thanks for listening. I think that
the next video, I definitely want to do something more interactive where I try on some clothes, because clothes are my thing. I love to style. I love picking out clothes, trying on clothes, and that's like probably the most gratifying creative process I do every day. Getting dressed, it's amazing, and there's just so much thought, and it's just so fun. Like, getting dressed is one of my favorite parts of the day because it's one of those things where I can just kind of like lose myself. I can channel what part of me I want to show to the world for the day. So today I was feeling a little grungy. I was feeling a little bit like I wanted some minimal modern pieces, and I also felt like I wanted to be comfy and cozy. I think that's what's so fun about fashion. It's very transient. You can change as much as you want to. You can mix things. You can show all the complexities of who you are as a person in your clothing. It's just phenomenal. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me try not to ramble as much as I did last time, because it was just freaking crazy. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking, and it was really weird because I felt as though, and I was talking to my cousin about this, I felt like it's weird when you're on camera and you're not a performer. Like, I'm not a performer, and it was also weird, like, I felt like my boyfriend was in the background and I really felt like he was listening to me, even though I know he was like doing his own thing. And then it's weird, even like I'm so glad, I feel like even my cat's watching me. Like, she just sits there and she just is watching me. I know that's like ridiculous, so it's just weird, which I'm like, okay, she's asleep, she's not watching now, so I can be more myself. But it's just weird. I don't know. This whole camera thing is new to me, and I just feel like really weird, even like with the whole eye contact thing. Typically I'm really good at delivering eye contact, and I think it's very important in like building a rapport with people, so I struggle sometimes with giving the camera eye contact because you're not a real face. But you know, I think everything takes practice, and this is the first of the first, so bear with me. And thank you so much again for watching this, and I really hope that I don't have to retake this again because I've done this a lot of times. I may or may not be doing Vlogmas also. It just really depends. I'm just gonna let this develop into what may be. Thanks again. And also, if you like this, please tell me, because sometimes it's hard to know if what I'm doing is worth anything if no one ever comments or likes it. And if you do like it and you want to see more of whatever this is, you can subscribe also. Bye.